in this timeline, and I guess that's kind of where I want to start this week, man. Because last weekend, there we are. Last weekend was not good. It was just a brutal, hellish weekend with a ton of bad news. So three big stories really to begin this week. Starting in Australia, where officials say the Bondi Beach Hanukkah attack was carried out by a father and son pair. 15 people were killed, including a 10-year-old, and dozens were injured. Police and the Prime Minister of Australia down there, Anthony Albanese, called it an act of anti-Semitic terrorism. There were two gunmen. The older was 50 years old, a licensed firearm holder, and was killed by police. The younger is hospitalized in critical condition. Now, a bystander named Ahmed Al Ahmed is credited with wresting a gun away from one of these attackers and was wounded. Officials described him as a hero who likely saved lives. But funny story, the narrative, funny is a bad word. The narrative down there, obviously, is this is, those scary Muslims attacking Jewish Australians. Well, here you have a Muslim man stepping up and wrestling a gun away from an attacker with his bare hands. It saved a lot of lives. And it is ironic that, like, in the days after the attack, when we didn't really know all the details what was going on, the far-right disinformation machine ramped up into gear and invented a white guy named Edward Crabtree out of whole cloth and said, this was the hero. Weird reaction to things from the far right. Now, Derek, I want to ask you, and tell me if I'm entirely wrong here, but I think about this attack in the context of a couple of years of increased anti-Semitism. And I do not want to minimize this in any way. This is a horrible act of anti-Semitic terrorism. But I think of a couple of instances, and I want to say it was former President Joe Biden here that said, without Israel, no Jew is safe. And I think of what the far-right Israeli government has been up to over those last couple of years, and the way they like to conflate all Jews with the state of Israel, where Jewish people have been fighting the dual loyalty trope for decades. So, and again, the responsibility for this attack ultimately lies with the people who carried it out. But does the Netanyahu government bear some blame here for turning up the temperature?
It's a yes and a no. Of course, everything that BB does, well, look really bad on Jews worldwide. But I believe most people, or I would like to believe most people, can distance somebody being Jewish from the state of Israel. I mean, I'm Jewish, but I'm not Israel. It's like I love the country of Israel, but don't love the government of Israel. I mean, there is a difference.
Yeah.
It's like I love the United States wholeheartedly, but the government of the United States can take a leap off a bridge. So it's like there is a difference between, a country and a government.
Yes.
And at least half of the world understands that.
It's one of these nuanced things, and people, I just think, generally people worldwide have a hard time with nuance and the way we refer to people in large groups, and really it comes down to, yes, we're all individuals and we should be treated as such.